Hello everyone. Today I have this funny story to read for you. Look at this guy. This guy here, he's called Dr. Ted. He's really funny. He really wants to be a doctor. I know there's some of you in our class who wants to be a doctor when you grow up too. Okay, for now, let's read about Dr. Ted and see what this silly doctor is up to. Okay, now, all right, Dr. Ted. Okay, one morning, Ted woke up, got out of bed and bumped his knee. That's not good, thought Ted. I need a doctor. Uh-oh. He looked everywhere. Can you see that? He looked into his closet. He looked into under the bed, but he couldn't find one. And since Ted couldn't find a doctor, guess what he did? Everyone, guess what he did? He became a doctor himself. Look at him. All set. Dr. Ted didn't have an office. Poor Ted. So he made one. Dr. Ted didn't have a big bandage. So he made one of those two. What did he use to make the bandage? Oh, he probably took some of his mom's old scarf. Now, don't practice this at home. Now, all I need is a patient, now he said. He sat and waited for one to arrive in his little clinic. Let's see if anyone comes to see him. I think it's time for a house call because nobody came. His mother was in the kitchen. You have measles, said Dr. Ted. We should operate. Oh no, those are my freckles, said his mother. Eat your breakfast now. Poor Ted. At school, Dr. Ted sat in the third row of Mrs. Johnson's class. All around him, students cough and sniffle and sneeze. See that? Everyone seemed to be getting sick in the class. The patients were germy. At lunch, Dr. Ted took their temperatures and measured their blood pressure. Oh, can you see what he's doing at lunch? What he was doing at lunch? Naughty Ted. Dr. Ted was such a good doctor. Even Mrs. Johnson came to see him. You can't practice medicine in the lunchroom, she said. You have mumps, said Dr. Ted. Crutches could help. You see, he's giving his teacher crutches. Those are my cheeks, said Mrs. Johnson. Eat your lunch now. Uh-oh. Ted definitely was busy in school, right? Trying to check on people. Principal Bigham walked in. Dr. Ted could tell he was very sick. He needed a doctor. We already have a school doctor who visits on Fridays, Principal Bigham said with a smile. You have gingivitis, said Dr. Ted. You need a full body cast. Principal Bigham frowned. You also have bad breath, said Dr. Ted. You need a shot. The principal's face turned bright red. And a fever, said Dr. Ted. You need a transplant. Oh, do you know what is transplant? It's like when you replace your organ, your kidney, with a new one. Some people are very sick, so they need an organ transplant to have a better life. But I'm sure all of us are okay. We don't need a transplant. No, we don't. This is just Ted being silly. We already have a school doctor. Principal Bigham pointed towards the door. He was very angry at Ted. We could do something about that food order, said Dr. Ted. Go home, said Principal Bigham. That night, he took 2 cookies and went straight to bed. Uh-oh, how do you think he was feeling? I think he was feeling very sad that he couldn't help anyone in his school. The next day, during recess, Ted sat on a bench and sighed. He watched Frances Sylvester do gymnastics on the monkey bars. She was very talented. Frances finished her routine with a triple twisting somersault. And what happened? She landed on Mrs. Johnson. Oh my goodness. Ouch! Cried Mrs. Johnson. My ankle! Principal Bingham ran this way and that. Help! He yelled. Call an ambulance. Call the fire department. Call the library. Just call somebody. Oh, the principal was very panicked and asked to call everyone. But Dr. Ted was already there. Can you see? Oh, he's all set. He wrapped Mrs. Johnson's ankle with his big bandage. He checked her vision and her tonsils. Take 2 cookies, he said. You'll feel better in the morning. Just then, the ambulance arrived, and the fire department, and the librarians. It's a good thing you had Dr. Ted, they all said. There's always room for another school doctor, said Mrs. Johnson. My work here is done, said Dr. Ted. Keep the bandage. Oh, you see? Everyone came, but at the end, who saved Mrs. Johnson? There you go. It's Ted. Dr. Ted did it. Principal Bingham face turned bright red. You really should do something about that fever, said Dr. Ted. See, Ted was still thinking that his principal had a fever. That night, Dr. Ted closed his office, packed away his stethoscope, and where did he go? He went to sleep, knowing he had done a good job. Well done, Dr. Ted. Should we have a doctor in Kids Villa too? Who would want to be a doctor? Who volunteers to be a doctor in our school? We shall see when the school reopens. Okay, bye-bye.